Again, all the relatives who just might have walked into the ballroom here, we have a bunch of food. We have some soup, pasoli, green chili soup, some fruit, what was called quesadillas, tortillas, onions for you bad breath people. We got a whole bowl of onions over there. You can eat that all by itself if you want. So we got onions over there, water, tea. So help yourself if you ain't eaten yet. If you have, you want seconds, go on up. This is on behalf of the committee here. Want to have a community feed to feed all the people who came out. Also behind me at the registration table, we have a 50-50 raffle and we have t-shirts for sale. They're $25 a piece, so if you're interested in buying a t-shirt, come on over here. And then we have the 50-50 raffle. And the 50-50 raffle, if you're not familiar with that, half of the proceeds that are raised through the raffle go to the committee, and the other half goes to you as a winner. And it could help you pay for your, I don't know, parking, your gas, maybe get a gallon of gas this rate, you know, just 1 gallon. You have to love our president and his tactics to make his friends rich. I want to be his friend, you know, so I can look down at all you poor people that can't afford gas. Just kidding. Just rugged. Yeah, just honest. Like you're not worried about gas for your car because you contract out your travel. You had a tri-pays for it. Using your travel car to go to the gathering. Mine as well, it's the last one. Read an article or a post or something, they're saying that the state might take over the gathering, and I'm like, yeah, that's going to be no fun. So we'll see what happens next year. Somebody's going to get the idea and try to do something. But again, if you haven't eaten yet, singers, if you showed up and hungry, we got food there on the south side. You're welcome to grab a bowl, and so we just kind of cruising through our start time here. If you're looking to be on white man time, you come to the wrong place. We're on Indian time tonight. It's 6:42. We're going to start when it's time to start. So again, this program is the Round Dance for Sovereignty, Healing the Spirit. You know, as in the recent generation, you know, a lot of our native tribes, we've come together and kind of understood the historical trauma that's taken place and kind of embraced the healing aspect of it. You know, for a long time, those that maybe back into the 70s, that's when I first heard about it as a child. My parents would talk about the trauma of boarding school and the trauma of just being assimilated into the white man society, whether it was through boarding school or maybe our tribes were, what is the word? Not assimilated, but they were terminated. You know, some of our tribal nations were terminated. Their reservations were terminated and forced to live out in California and other parts of the country, you know, and just being forced to learn this white man way of life. And there's a lot of trauma that goes with that when you go into a new culture. You know, just brand new, coming from a reservation, speaking maybe one language or understanding one culture, and then you go into a completely foreign culture. And now to the point where we finally understand how that has affected a lot of our people in terms of depression, alcoholism, abuse, you know, whether it's physical, psychological, mental, emotional, and how that sprays into common day issues such as our MMIP, MMIR situations. You know, a lot of that stems going back to us being assimilated and forcibly assimilated into a society. And it's not until the past 5-10 years we've started to recognize our hurts, our collective hurts as Native Americans, and began this process of embracing healing. And these dances, these songs, whether it's powwow, Native American church, or our own traditional ways, this round dance has an element of healing to it. It has an element of protection. And these songs are sacred in that sense, and these dances are sacred in that sense. So again, we want to say thank you to the sponsors for bringing us together, this Round Dance for Sovereignty, this Round Dance for Healing. And we want to kind of let that message be out there that that's why we're here tonight, to share with one another, enjoy these songs, enjoy these dances, and embrace that spirit of healing, embrace that spirit of protection so we can go on and create a better future for our young ones, our children. They're the ones that are going to inherit our behaviors that we have today. So if we're angry today, our children are going to absorb that. We have to learn how to heal and be positive, be healthy, be kind. And so our children absorb that so they can make a better life for themselves. You know, some of us grew up in pretty rough times. Some of us live in those rough times. You know, myself, I'm a product of a alcoholic home with domestic violence and suicide ideation. I've seen it a lot as a kid. You know, I grew up with that, and I inherited those behaviors. And in my younger life, you know, I exhibited those same kind of behaviors my dad did, and I had to learn how to embrace that hurt part of me and get over it. You know, learn how to receive help and move forward. And today, you know, I'm a proud dad of a 6-year-old, 7-year-old, and a 16-year-old at the house. We have a good time every day. We're laughing every day, and I'm talking to them every day about how smart they are, how special they are, how they have gifts from Creator. Those are the words I share with them every day. That's not what I grew up with, but they're growing up with that, and that's what I mean. You know, we can overcome whatever our hurts are, wherever we're at in life, whether we might be addicted, maybe we're going through a physical relationship or toxic relationship. We can overcome that and become good people, healthy people. And that's that spirit of healing. That's what we're talking about, because we have to do that if we're going to be stronger down the road for our children so they can be stronger than we are today. That's my hopes, that's my wishes for our children. So I say that in a good way. Meanwhile, we're getting closer to start time here at our round dance for sovereignty, our round dance for healing here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. We welcome each and every one of you, wherever you might have come from. I know we got some relatives that come from down south, come from up north, come from Albuquerque itself. If you haven't eaten yet, we still do have food over there on the south side. You know, make yourself at home, get a plate, just get in line, don't be shy. And we have, once you're done, there are some small black tables set up around the ballroom here. Just put your bowls and plates on those round tables, those round black tables, and our staff here will take care of it. If you're here looking for Bart or Joaquin or Jackson, you're blowed up right now. You're stuck with Team Zaw. That's it. That's all you get for right now. I'm the C team. I wasn't invited to this gathering of nations banquet. Me and Randy, us three up here, we're the C team. We didn't get an invite from Derek. You know, Derek knows us, shakes our hand, greets us in a good way, but we're not good enough to be at his dinner tonight. No shade, Derek, no shade. You know, we're okay. We'll have a good time, but they got the invite. So they'll be here later if you're looking for them. It's going to be a good time. We're going to have 4 MCs up here. None of us know better than the other. But we also have our invited singers, Cedric Baker Sr., Rylan Brady, Ronald Manassi Sr., Tyron Foria, Dylan Jar, Luke Ernest, Elias Hermini Horses, and Mitchell Baker. We also want to say thank you to Hoka Sound Jr., running the sound tonight out of Oklahoma. I want to say Bing. Is it Bing? Close to Ada. All right, so Randy's asking all the singers to come bring your drums up here. All singers, bring your drums up here if you can. Getting closer to start time here. So for my relatives that might have showed up a little later, earlier this afternoon, you know, our original intentions was to have a pipe ceremony as this is a Cree style round dance. And with our Cree relatives, when they have these round dances, they'll start with a pipe ceremony. And that was our intentions. But we weren't able to make that come together. But as our elders tell us, sometimes these instruments of prayer get tired, you know, and so these pipes, you know, they've been used all winter long at different round dances and different ceremonies. And so, you know, we're saying to ourselves, it's okay that these instruments get tired sometimes, and we find a way to make this happen. And so we had these materials with the 4 sacred colors and the 4 sacred elements. Representing those. We took those and we had those, and we said a prayer for all the relatives here, the singers, the instruments, our weather, you know, everything like that. We said those prayers, and we put up these. If you look in each cardinal direction, you'll see those colors, those prayers that we said are set in these cloths. And we did that earlier. And then we had food prayer. My brother here, Deaton Smith, that came up and offered a prayer for the food. And so with the continuation of our prayers, we're asking our singers to bring their drums up here, if you would. If you brought your hand drum singers, we're asking you to bring them up here so we can render a prayer for our drums here. As they are the heartbeat, they carry the heartbeat of all our nations. And there are many stories tied to our drums, and there's a representation there where they carry our songs, they carry our prayers, and we want to make sure that the drums that are used here tonight are blessed and cleansed. And so that's part of the role here our stickman has, Randall Paskaman. So he's taking care of our singers' drums. So again, singers, if you can hear me, if you haven't brought your drum up here, we're asking you to bring your drum up if you have it. And that's where we're at. Again, we have t-shirts and 50/50 for sale back here on the back table behind me. So go ahead and bring your best money forward and, help out our committee here with the 50/50. All the proceeds from the 50/50 go to the singers. So, as I say in our ways, without the song, we don't have the dance. Without the singers, we don't have the dance. So it's our duty to take care of our songs, to take care of our singers. So this 50/50 raffle that's being held, sold behind me, all the proceeds will go to the singer. 50% of that will go to the singers, and then the other 50% will go to the winner of the raffle. I like how we're so acculturated. We create an agenda just to look at it. We don't follow it. Agendas are for, I don't know what they're for. Those of us that have corporate jobs, they work. Outside of corporate America, agendas are just fun to create. Yeah. When somebody works for a corporation, that's our first question. Well, do you have an agenda? And we show up on time, too. When there's an agenda, we feel official. I'm kind of that way. I showed up. I saw the agenda from the OG agenda that was sent out on Messenger. It said 4:30. I was late at 5, but I was early according to our Indian agenda, which is we just tell you what we're going to do, and when it's time, we're going to do it. We don't put a time on it. We also want to say thank you to our other sponsors here. We have the Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation, honoring the past, strengthening our future. The Prairie Band Potawatomi Nation is rooted in culture, guided by sovereignty, and committed to the well-being of our people. We continue to invest in the strength of our community and future generations. We are proud to support Round Dance for Sovereignty and the impactful work of Healing the Spirit Productions. Investing in community-driven cultural events that uplift Indigenous voices and traditions reflects our ongoing commitment to strengthening the health, spirit, and unity of our relatives. You can visit them at www.pbpindiantribe.com. We also want to say thank you to a Morningstar sponsor, Tribal Grant Writing, the future of grant writing in Indian country, a legacy agency for grant writing research and nation building. Tribal grant writing is an Indigenous experience. We are not rewriting the narrative, we are reshaping it to create a future where Indigenous voices are heard, respected, and empowered to lead, pushing the boundaries of what is possible. You can visit them at www.tribalgrantwriting.com. We also want to say thank you to Sacred Mountain LLC. At Sacred Mountain LLC, we are committed to the empowerment and sustainability of our Navajo and indigenous communities. Rooted within the boundaries of our 4 sacred mountains, we operate with respect for Navajo values and traditional methodologies. We are 100% Navajo and veteran-owned company specializing in flooring construction and project management services. Our work reflects the balance of cultural awareness, quality craftsmanship, and reliable service. Sacred-mountainllc.com. We also want to say thank you to Shakota Powwow Supply. Specialized design cotton fabrics, 100% wool 8-band broadcloth, jingles, ribbons, beads, threads, just to name a few. ShokotaPowwowSupply.com, SHOKOTA PowwowSupply.com. Another sponsor here is Thunder Child First Nation. Thunder Child First Nation is a vibrant Cree community rooted in resilience, culture, and pride, located in the heart of Saskatchewan. Grounded in the principle of sovereignty, the nation proudly exercises its inherent right to self-determination, shaping its own governance, economy, and future for generations to come from its deep spiritual connection to the land, to its expanding initiatives in education, health, and economic development. Thunderchild First Nation stands as a powerful example of strength, independence, and unity, welcoming visitors and partners to witness a thriving nation building its future upon its own terms. Also, our sponsors here, Bart and Jackie Stevens, Julie LeBrake, Spud Brown, Phil and Missy Manning, Kevin Powapatch Choco, Kerwin Powapatch Coco, and Serena Knip, Grace and Evan Oldrun, Bryce Anderson, April Nalake, Bart Pawaki, and Sheila Nanito Tatoyak. Thank you. We also want to say thank you, Native Pride Productions and Cuda Health. Brown Dance for Sovereignty. Also, thank you, Cassie John and Homeland Forever. So all our singers, go ahead and start making your way out here. Elias Her Mini Horses, our first singer. Getting started here. We're live on YouTube. So Deshane, if you want to send me those addresses, I can get them announced so all your relatives can tell your relatives at home, say, hey, check us out. Got some of the best singing in North America on a Thursday night right here tonight in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So. Elias, Her Many Horses. Thank you, singers, for the opening song here, starting out our round dance. Again, our singer, Elias Hermini Horses. Meanwhile, continuing on with our sponsors, we have Native American Church of North America is a nonprofit organization that promotes the preservation and sacredness of our sacred medicines, ceremonies, and languages. With chapters all over the United States, the NACNA organization is dedicated to working with tribal and federal government to protect and preserve our way of life. Also, another sponsor here, Justin Jones Law Office PC, representing clients in tribal courts throughout Indian country, extensive lobbying services in Washington, D.C. and state government levels. And then, of course, our organizing sponsor here. Healing the Spirit Productions is a nonprofit organization dedicated to uplifting indigenous communities through cultural grounded programming that brings its mission and message directly to Indian country. Through initiatives centered on health, cultural revitalization, and community connection, HTSPs creates spaces where tradition and wellness go hand in hand. Our round dances are powerful expressions of this work, offering opportunities for spiritual renewal, cultural celebration, meaningful community engagement. These gatherings strengthen relationships across generations, honor our shared traditions, and promote collective healing. By investing in events like these, we are helping to build stronger, more connected Native communities grounded in cultural resilience and unity. Healthy men, healthy families, healthy communities. So there we go. That's all our sponsors for this evening. I say thank you to all our sponsors for making this happen, bringing us together on a Thursday night. Again, once here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. All right, going around with the 50-50, we have former Miss Indian World, Cassie John, right here. Give her a round of applause. Came all the way out of Salt Lake, Utah to be here this weekend and helping us out. So buy a ticket. It helps when a pretty lady's selling tickets. People want to buy. If it was me, they'd be like, forget it. It's $1 a ticket, and it's orange tickets. So $1 again, 50-50 raffle. Singers, okay. Come out and dance. Don't be shy. Put on all these ribbon skirts just to sit down. Get up, dance. Come on now.